Welcome back to a new video. I apologize for the mic'd up video, or the two mic'd up videos in a row. I wasn't originally planning on doing two in a row. It just happened to be that I was inspired to do a different style for the mic'd up video for the second one, which if you haven't watched, it's just three 20-ish minute clips because I do three different exercises. So with my video camera, I can record up to a 20-minute clip, unless there's some sort of setting I can change to make that longer. I don't really envision myself doing anything longer than a 20-minute continuous clip, but it was just a different kind of style with it, because I like to make the videos so I can kind of talk through things, but I would still have cuts in there between the different clips, which, you know, that could be, you know, a 5 or 10 minute clip or whatever, but I kind of wanted to challenge myself because I knew it was going to be a lighter session to do continuous clips, and I knew I had 20 minutes, so I set the goal of doing like a 20-minute per exercise, so between all my talking and warming up and whatnot, to finish whatever lift I was doing in that 20 minutes. But that session built upon this one. So yesterday I did pause at the knee plus pause at the knee power snatch, I guess is what you would call it, and then same with the clean and jerks. I forget what weight I went up for the clean and jerk, and I actually have my paper here so I can look. So for the snatch, I went up to well, I missed 100, but I was able to do 90. And then for the power clean plus push press, I went up to 111, and then did some strict press after. So that session I kind of built upon that session in this one by just doing full of both lifts. And obviously, you know, you can do more weight when you go all the way down. But I started out with these muscle snatches, just mostly as a warm up, and to make sure there was actually someone that was doing power cleans, and I was going to do these anyway, so it's not that big of a deal for me to do muscle snatches, but it kind of gave me some more time to wait for him to finish, to make sure that, you know, I wouldn't run out of plates or have to use pound plates with it, and I'm able to work around stuff like that, so it's not that big of a deal. Plus it worked out because, you know, I was going to do muscle snatches anyway, so that's why you see some of the weird loading for the muscle snatches, because I didn't have the blues or green available to me at that time. But the snatches are feeling really good, and I was able to push them up pretty aggressively, up to 115. And I think these will be a good kind of progression during the week, as I'm, you know, just building in my training to doing some maybe pause powers. I don't know how frequently I'll do those, but essentially I want to do like a pause snatch, a tempo snatch, and then a regular snatch, and just kind of keep cycling back through those, and maybe like the high block snatches just because I enjoy doing those, but kind of have that be the progression during the week, and then the Saturday session being the normal lift that I do, or just having like another day where I just work up to a normal snatch session and just kind of use the technical work to build into the full lift. And honestly, like, based on the small sample size I have now of, you know, this 2 weeks since the competition, and since I've experimented with these pauses and tempos, they've been feeling really good, and I envision that as I get better at them, these like 110s and 115s will start to feel really good, and they'll start to be even more consistent, because I feel like they're getting a lot better, even, you know, just every couple days that I'm doing them. And even the fact that like last week I was working up to like 110, and now I'm able to work up to 115. I don't envision I'll be able to add another 5 kilos onto these working sets the next week, but if these continue to get easier, maybe in a couple weeks, these couple singles will be at 120 instead of 115, and hopefully, you know, they're more stable as I catch them and just continue to develop the technique. But I'm happy with the progress that I'm making right now. I'm happy with the amount of accessory work that I'm also doing on top of these. So I'm not really doing a ton as far as like snatch doubles or just like a ton of snatch volume necessarily, but I am doing a ton of strength work and a ton of accessory work that I think will help my lifts in general. But it's also kind of nice because the bodybuilding work is kind of more mindless. I'm not stressed about doing like a triple in the snatch and the fatigue that builds. I'm trying to, you know, build the technique and trying to be precise and just trying to get better at those heavier weights, which I think is a nice focus for me, because I generally have enough strength to get up to, you know, whatever weight I need to in a snatch or a clean and jerk. Oftentimes it's a technical breakdown is what limits me from hitting, you know, a 90% lift on a given day. For clean jerks, I did the pause clean plus pause jerk. The pause jerks are never that great, but it's one of those weird movements where you can feel like you paused for like 10 seconds, but really you just see like continuous motion. So I don't know, it's just kind of limiting the stretch reflex, so it isn't that big of a deal. But I got up to this 145 for the first single, and I wanted to do a better rep, but unfortunately I missed the clean on the second one, and then on the third one I missed the jerk, and then on the fourth one I was able to do what I consider to be the best of the four. Obviously the middle two being misses, but between the first and the last one that were full makes, or at least full for training purposes. Obviously they're, you know, pressed out, but clean and jerks, I have a similar focus as with snatch, to where I want to keep getting up to these heavier, progressively heavier weights. Of course, that's what everyone wants to do with training, but like I want this 145 to be a routine weight that I'm able to do whatever complex I want with, and just continue to make it more and more precise. And even with this, you know, short amount of time I've been building up, they've been slowly getting better. And I would consider the pause clean plus pause jerk a very difficult complex for me to do, and really just like one that's a good weight limiter. So the fact that, you know, I was able to do it even for two, really, I mean, do it 4 times, even though, you know, I missed a clean and missed a jerk. Like, I'm attempting it multiple times and not just getting, you know, destroyed by it. I'm actually making it occasionally. And obviously, you know, you want to build up that accuracy and continue to build that up. But I actually thought about doing some squats, but I was just kind of sore from the previous couple days, so I decided to do some more RDLs. Last week I did snatch RDLs. This week I did clean ones. I got up to this 160. I did 2 sets of 10. I didn't get that weird thing on my hands from like the pressure of the straps on, but these felt really good. The nice thing with being built for deadlifts and stuff is I can just kind of do these indefinitely. So I kind of want to keep adding them in because I think they're useful as well. But the last thing I wanted to mention was some of the accessory work that I did after this. I actually did a bunch of leg accessory work. So I did more leg extension. I did some laying leg curls or lying leg curls, which last time I did seated. So not really, you know, that difference. Essentially a quad dominant accessory, a hamstring dominant accessory, and then some calf work. So I did quite a lot with the quads. I'm more focused on, obviously, on quad development versus hamstrings. So my hamstrings, I'm assuming, are pretty strong just based on my deadlift, although a lot of that is back strength, but I want to obviously do both. But for me, just working on the quads will be nice. The leg extensions are feeling nice. I was always worried that they would bother my knees just because of what I've heard in the past with those from various people, aka my dad and the physical therapist. After I had my knee scope way back in the day, they said not to do leg extensions, but I think if you load it properly, I think it's fine. And I'm not trying to swing it crazily aggressively. I'm worried about the muscle contraction. So it's been fine there. And I think it will actually probably be beneficial for like my quad tendons and stuff, just to get that all isolated and a bit stronger, which will help with the main lifts. And anecdotally, I think that even these couple sessions I've done have already helped with the similar weights that I've been working with, and hopefully that trend continues and I can just have a really nice training cycle. I don't know how long this cycle of training will go, or like how I'm going to peak for it necessarily. I'm just worried about trying to accumulate volume and get a lot of practice with the weights. I would imagine that as the weeks go on, if I'm starting to attempt like 120 and 125 multiple times during the week, then I'll probably dial things back and kind of try to peak up on one of the Saturdays to see what numbers I'm able to go to, and then kind of reset. But honestly, you know, I'll just keep rocking and rolling with how it's going, because I don't feel like I'm slowing down at all, which is nice. And I don't know, I feel really good now. You know, I'm sore and stuff, which kind of makes sense, but like I feel like my lifts are feeling better, that, you know, I feel like I'm progressing, which is nice. And just being able to hit similar heavy percentage lifts most days of the week, or at least several days of the week, is always nice. But anywho, that's it for this session. I'll talk to you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.